Hello everyone and welcome to another Sunbright session. Only this time we're not on Zoom, we're in the actual real world, and even more exciting than that, we're here at Silverstone circuits, and I will say as well it's a live track day, so it is going to be absolutely buzzy and you're going to hear the cars going past, but that's great, that's what it's all about. I'm actually here and I'm delighted to be joined by Hayley Smith, who is Head of Sales for Silverstone Circuits.
Hi Darren.
Hello, thanks for having us here today.
Thanks for coming, it's good to have you.
So yeah, we're here because we're curious about the world of venues and how it's going to change from the last sort of 6 months, where previous to that it was all about booking space and what's available, etc. Is it now just a case of getting back onto that and filling the diary? Or have things changed in ways because of what's happened over the last 6 months? Is it more innovation? Are venues being used differently? So we want to explore that, and Silverstone's such an iconic venue and it's so unique that we're really keen to hear from Hayley how the plans are changing and evolving for the rest of the year and beyond. So Hayley, before we get into that, just kind of going back to the start of the year, I'm certain from the conversation we had that it was almost fully booked or getting close to it, as always, and more a case of where can we squeeze you in, what availability have we got? And then suddenly just shut down and the doors close, and what was that like for you and your team?
I only started with Silverstone back in December. Great team behind me, had a great business plan, great strategy. We had a very good Q1, completely smashed our targets, and the light switch just turned off. And it's difficult to manage at the time. I don't think any of us knew the significant impact it was going to have. Initially, the first thing we did was be flexible with our clients, and we had to become more human and have those conversations. You know, we didn't live in a contractual world anymore where we went by a contract when a pandemic's hit. So it's very much a case of flexibility, rescheduling where we could, and honest, transparent conversations, and we're still doing that now with events in the future.
So you go from that and then complete extreme, because then you open the doors to host the largest live event behind closed doors to date.
Yeah.
How was that, and how did that feel, and what was that like for the team?
We have a very, very strong operational team that have run the Formula One for years and years and years. So they've always delivered it, and they've always been able to do that as a huge success. But they've always done that, usually planning a year ahead for something that then had to be built really in weeks. So it was a case of all hands on deck, everyone involved, but at the same time, not as many hands on decks as you would have previously because of COVID measures that we had to put in place. So the guys worked tirelessly with all the measures they had with the testing, the hand sanitising, the flow of people in and out of the building, nothing we've really had to be concerned about previously. And I'm sure everyone's seen it on TV, it was a huge success.
Obviously this was pretty unique for the COVID-19 situation, and there'll be certain things that are completely set in this moment in time, but were there any measures you put in place or any ways that you changed the organisation that you think, actually, do you know what, we've never done that before, but we should do that next year, so it's changed the plans for next year?
I think because of the...
That's it, that's what it's all about.
Because the plans that we had to put in place were at such a short lead nature, moving forward for next year, we'll have a whole year to plan it. So in terms of the measures that we had in place, it was different areas that we probably wouldn't have used before, and different sort of ways of keeping the flow, which we never had to think about, and we had to. And again, away from the Formula One side, it actually is a massive showcase for my team for conference, in that we've just done this, we've delivered the biggest event, as you said, behind closed doors. We can do events, so it's a huge showcase for that as well.
So the doors are open.
We are very much open, open and running.
So just thinking about the sort of conversations that you're having with your clients, your customers that are calling up, making a booking, I guess that previously, whilst everyone will have their own individual requirements, it was very much about the amount of space that was available, the amount of people, the length of time they're here, and how to use rooms for breakouts, etc. But a lot's happened since then, and lots of things have changed. Have you found that the conversations you're having now are different to what they were before? Yeah,
absolutely. It's very much more of a consultation approach with our clients and our event planners. Previously, they knew how it all worked, they knew the logistics of what they were trying to achieve, whereas now it's very much a case of talking through every event differently. So the nature of the event and the concept of what they're trying to achieve is the same as previous, however they want to do it in a different way. And that's actually helped us. So we've actually had to look at different ways of how we can adapt to clients' needs. So now we're looking at much more outside space, utilising our garages in a different way than we have done previously. And we've just tried to adapt more to what they need. I think what they're trying to achieve is something they can't do in the office. So they need to justify why they're going away to do so. So by utilising outside space, different areas of, we've got huge amounts of space here. We've never had to really utilise any more than the meeting space that we've got. Whereas now it actually gets us brainstorming and us thinking about, what can we do differently? And even away from the corporate side, we have the demand for weddings as well. So where people can't get their wedding for next year because it's already gone, actually people can't wait. So now we're open 7 days a week for weddings, which we weren't really proactively pushing before. So it's complaints a whole outset, but in a very good way. We're sort of looking at completely different ways for our strategy moving forward.
So we're going to get out and see some of the sites that you're exploring for different usages that you've not done previously. So Hayley, here we are in one of the outdoor spaces that we're going to talk about, and this is one of many that have existed here for a long time, but now you're thinking completely differently on how to use them. So talk us through it. What sort of plans have you got here?
So we've had to think outside the box. So we're trying to utilise every outside area we have that's not currently being used. So this area doesn't get used 364 days a year. So for example, this would be our tarmac area. So for this sort of surface, we're looking at outside exhibitions, so construction, we're looking at motor vehicles or the big camper van type shows. Anyone that can utilise this area without needing the softer side. And then just sort of over this way here, we're looking at outside marquees because people are asking more and more for outside space rather than indoors. So by using this area over here, we hope to be able to achieve that. Also looking at like glamping and yurts that people have asked for. And then just behind us here, we're looking at doing our drive-in conferencing that we're launching in the next couple of weeks. So that's on the back of really how successful drive-in cinemas were. So it all sort of ties in really nicely. And then similarly to that, we've just got area here, which is our woodlands retreat. So there we're looking at bushcraft sessions or campfire sessions, again like utilising the space, which is definitely an area we've never explored. And out there we can do breakout sessions as well and making sure we've got the facilities to adhere to that. And next to the woodlands area we've got our 4x4 area, which again has always been there, but we haven't necessarily proactively pushed it. So not only are we utilising outside areas, as you can see, but we're also innovating and changing the way we use our indoor areas. So for the pit stop garages, for example, that we've always used, but now they're getting more and more frequently used because people want the garage doors open to allow that air to come in. So it's just different ways of adapting really to clients' needs.
So Hayley, really interesting because, like you said, all this space has always been here. It's not new, but thinking about it now differently to what's been done before and just, looking, there's a vast amount of space and a vast amount of opportunity, which some of it you're taking now by thinking differently as a team, but other things are coming as ideas from event planners and organisers out there that have got new needs and they're asking for new things.
They're enabling us to brainstorm different ideas, so it's fantastic. Like you said, I think we're all guilty of having the space and taking it for granted and never needing to use it, whereas now more than ever we can. And I think it's really exciting. It
is. So you've got a message out there for all other venues and planners out there. What would you say?
I think we all need to, at the moment, really think differently, as we said, but also think outside the box. We never thought we'd be doing drive-in conferences. We never thought we'd be doing campfire sessions at Silverstone. But I think more importantly than that is, historically, venues in particular, always sort of seen as competitors. We actually know this is the time to, work together, have working groups, share best practice, give each other a call, work in collaboration with each other and partnerships. And similarly with the event planners and anyone that's sort of planning an event, be bold, tell us what you want, because if we can achieve that, it's a great showcase for us as well as for you. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I think that, for anyone that's in the creative world, you love a blank canvas, you love opportunity, and it's more exciting from a creative point of view, gives more opportunity for anyone that's looking to get people back face to face, so that can only be a good thing. So yeah, thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you in particular to Hayley for your time today and for giving us the grand guided tour and letting us experience the buzz of Silverstone. So thank you.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.